Well, there's another thing to say about this. We haven't seen Killer yet, and we know Kid is locked up with Kaido.
Yes,
And
that's actually very important. Yeah.
there is
You
theory
know what?
that Killer is a brother of Sanji. So what if he's on his way to Whole Cake Island?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's possible.
That's really deep, honestly.
Yeah, like
it's kind of
And Killer could ask for help, right? Because he's still in Kid's crew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The main question is what's going on with Killer and Hawkins. We haven't seen them yet. We know Apu's working under Kaido now. We saw obviously Kid's not gonna go under anyone. So
I'm getting some Hansel and Gretel vibes based on the fact that they're now out of food and they're moving towards an area that is like all the buildings are made out of candy.
yeah, it had some Gretel and
Potentially
potentially Chopper and Carrot will be the boy and the girl who.
Yo, speaking Hansel and Gretel, somebody made a theory one time that was about Big Mom having like a witch fruit, and I mean that considering Whole Cake Island and all that, and now that they're out
Be
of
like
food,
a human type
really,
witch
really
fruit.
Well, one of the reasons for the theory was that Big Mom lives on an island made of cake. It's called Whole Cake Island, and it was based on the Hansel and Gretel. I believe that's what it is, where the witch has a house made of candy and leads these kids in to eat them. So she's roughly based on that story. So it would make sense that she was a witch because the villain in that story was a witch.
Her whole pirate crew is based on different fantasy stories,
exactly.
and this
arc Humpty
has
Dumpty.
Sanji is Alice in Wonderland at this point.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Carrot and Chopper filled like the Hansel and Gretel role as well, so they might see themselves in a lot of danger this arc. But
I'm just saying,
I'm expecting some good stuff from Chopper.
If Mickey Mouse is on Big Mom's crew, we're done. It's over.
Well, it is raining cotton candy too, which is very interesting.
I've been saying this, man. I think Chopper's gonna have an amazing moment this arc.
Oh yeah.
Chopper, new main character, guys. 2K16.
Yo,
I feel like Chopper's just gonna get like really, really fat, really, really quickly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he won't even need a giant form anymore.
It's like imagine Luffy if it was raining meat right now.
Oh god.
Yeah.
He's made of rubber.
It'd be all over.
The crew would enjoy that considering they have no food.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I thought was really, really funny? At the end of the near the end of the chapter, Sanji's like, I bet they're missing my cooking now. And they have zero.
They are exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been. Oh, go ahead.
Rogers Base made a theory that now that they're out of food, the only thing that there is to eat is Nami's orange trees, and there goes whose Logia fruit might be on that tree, and I think Carrot might eat it.
Well, we saw Carrot have tangerines on her kimono in the cover page.
Wait,
so there's a good chance.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, there's a good chance she can eat it. But then again, Oda might throw us a curve.
If she eats that fruit, I think it's like 99% chance she joins the crew.
Who's devil fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monet's, ain't it?
Yeah, Monet. Yeah.
Also, another thing, I can't remember if it was an SBS, but Oda mentioned that the next crew members would join one after the other, so we may get more than one crew member. So we might get Peckham's and Carrot, or...
Oh, yeah, you're talking about an interview.
Yeah, Peckham literally has zero place to go now. Especially since, the rest of the Big Mom's crew is like, yeah, he fucked up. So Big Mom will probably follow on that, too.
What becomes of Eustace Kid after Luffy and crew, save his ass?
I think he's gonna try to just go on his normal way, just pick fights.
Well,
he still wants to take on Shanks.
I have two thoughts on what Kid's gonna do. He's either gonna, one, fight Luffy for superiority, or two, admit that Luffy is the better pirate and join Luffy.
Oh no, he will not admit that.
That
is not part of his.
That's why
it's not part of his character.
Hell no.
But Kid did get his ass kicked by Kaido. So if Luffy beats Kaido, something that Kid clearly didn't do,
then he wanted one up him.
We never know.
And take on
we
Shanks.
never thought Law would be. Look, when we first met Law, did anybody honestly assume that he was just going to go ahead and make an alliance with a bunch of different of the worst generations?
Yeah,
no.
But that's
so Oda's clearly showing that the worst generation is more dynamic characters than just oh, fight me, and oh, I'm stronger than you.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah, he's down to make an alliance, as we saw. He's already made an alliance with Kid and Apu, so he definitely can make one with Luffy in the future. I just don't think he'll ever say that Luffy's better
Well, I'm not
or
saying he's
My
going
or
to
thing
below
explicitly
Luffy.
is
say Luffy's a better pirate, but he might admit that he can't be the pirate king and Luffy can. But he's
Oh
not
no,
going
I
to
don't
flat out
think.
say it.
that's
It's going to be like
I
on this off panel, off to the
it
side,
might
thinking it to
be.
himself. I guess he is meant to be the pirate king or something like that.
I think it's quite
Yeah.
possible we'll rendezvous with more than just Capone on like of the supernovas. We're probably gonna bump into maybe Bonnie as well, and then
But
if at
Bonnie
the
got
end of
arrested.
the no, she
Isn't
didn't.
she
She's
No,
out?
she
free.
didn't.
Oh, isn't she? Yeah,
Oh,
she's
for
out.
real? She got free? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if we bump into Bonnie, and I think at the end of it, I don't think Luffy's going to like beat or take down the Big Mom pirate crew, but somehow form some sort of strange alliance at the end of it. But I think it's going to end up with we're going towards Kaido, and then once we get to Wano country where Kaido is, I think we're going to get every single supernova is going to be on that island at that time. And I think rather than Luffy taking down Kaido by himself, it's going to be the worst generation versus Kaido. And they might form some sort of pirate alliance.
Yeah.
Or,
Well,
I had a,
yeah.
I mean, I have a little like I haven't been on here for a while, so I've been sitting on a few things that I was thinking of when I heard about the 4 Yonko arc or saga, whatever you feel like calling it. I really had a thought that maybe it's not going to be more because there's plenty of alliances going on. Plenty of people are talking. The Yonkos are moving. They're making big changes. So what if Luffy finds Shanks, gets the revolutionaries and the Marco pirates, and creates this large alliance. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Shanks joins in somehow because I don't see Luffy fighting Shanks. And Kaido, Big Mom, or maybe Kaido Blackbeard, or because Big Mom does have this wedding going on, and I guarantee you somebody's gonna have one of the Yonkos will have some of their crew there. So if maybe Blackbeard sends one of his crews, they go talk to Big Mom, they form an alliance to say, hey, we're gonna take out another Yonko together. So there's like this big old. That's our big war. One of the big wars we have.
Well,
It
this
would
is
be-
this
That's
is
the
a
big
little theory that I have because we saw in this chapter that Kaido mentioned something to Kid about going to find Luffy. So what if Kaido and Kid go find Luffy, and we know where Luffy is right now with Big Mom or going to Big Mom, and if Killer is Sanji's brother, Killer and Germa 66 will be with Big Mom too.
Well, I'm going to
That's true.
expand on that theory because what if Kaido decides to say, "All right, Kid," because I mean it's a big thing. Kid may be ruthless, but he does care about his crew. We know that.
Yeah.
So what if
Yes.
Kaido says, "Okay, I have your crew. If you don't go fight Luffy and bring me his head, I will kill your crew." And then Kid has to go fight Luffy.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Like he's
Well-
some sort of slave or like a lieutenant.
Yeah, because he does have him locked up. Kid is submissive to Kaido as of this moment. He is. He's just kind of Kaido's, bitch.
I think
Yeah.
he's
Well,
more unconscious than bitch. I don't think you could ever call Eustace Captain Kid a bitch.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's
Okay.
We,
Yeah, maybe
he got
maybe-
wrecked.
All right,
Obviously, he got
You're
wrecked.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like
you're right.
subordinate,
But he
maybe.
did
Also-
get,
subordinate.
it looks like he got fodderized. by
Yeah, he
Kaido.
definitely got
So,
foddered.
yeah.
We
I don't
have a
think
good power
anyone-
scale.
Well, I
We have
can't
a good
say
power
he
scale
got,
of Kaido right now, though. We
I
do have
don't
a good.
think. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no, you go first. You finish.
All right. I was just gonna say that we have a power scale of Kaido right now, or just the Yonkos in general. Because we can say Kid's pretty close to the same level as Luffy. Killer's probably close to the same level as Zoro. Hawkins and Apu are probably about the same level as Law, and they all got fodderized by Kaido, and just Kaido, not his crew, but just Kaido.
I
mean,
have no reason to
considering
believe
that
that
Apu-
Killer is on Zoro's level. I have no
Okay,
reason to
maybe-
believe that.
I have a pretty
I
good reason,
mean,
just because
he's
Kid.
his first
Well, I'm
crew.
not saying that they are the exact same level. I'm saying if you put Zoro at all right, comparing the two, I would say that he's maybe 4/5 as strong as Zoro, or maybe a little bit closer, but he's not as strong, but he's not far.
I mean, most of the supernovas are around the same level, with the
Yeah.
exception of the top tier, like Law, Luffy, and
Not
Kid.
to
I think
mention, he seems to
I think Zoro really got a large boost from training with Mihawk. Where
I
else
think,
the
I
other
think
supernovas
he's in
were.
the top 5 strongest supernovas.
Not to
That's what I think.
mention, Killer is
Killer
one of the
isn't there, but he's
supernovas
not
without.
far.
Like I
I
said,
think
not to mention
Killer is
Killer's
either
not
5 or
always one of
6.
the.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's
Okay,
why. See, I still think this is all curious because we haven't seen Killer in a while, and if the theory is true that Killer is Sanji's brother, if Kid needs help, Killer will help Kid. Germa Double Six is there, so that whole organization will help them out, and Sanji's there, which will tie in the Straw Hats.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
but
really
here's the thing. Germa 66 is like 80% guaranteed to have something to do with the world government. Either they work for them or they work or the world government has like a deal with them, which means that by trying to get Germa 66 on Big Mom's side, Big Mom is in essence also trying to get the world government at least partially on her side to maybe take down another Yonko. So the chances of her teaming up with another Yonko, I think, is less likely.
Yo, by the way, speaking of that, going on Garment 66, on the same part, with them saying that they wanted Sanji to join Big Mom. I've kind of seeing it now. I'm kind of feeling like they got like protection vibes. Like maybe they killed someone that was too powerful, not necessarily too powerful, but had too much government power behind them. And now like they wanted to keep Sanji safe, to keep their entire family safe while they're under Big Mom or maybe something like that. Because it just seems like, considering Sanji's poster was changed and wanted alive, and then they seem to be wanting to join Big Mom. Like something around them happened for them to want to join with the Yonko, because we've never heard about them before. And in order for them to join Big Mom, there had to be some reason behind it.
Yeah, but I don't think Germa 66 puts much like they don't really care about Sanji because only now that he's like what 22, 23, do they are looking for him. But I think that's mostly because he's just like a useful pawn at this point in their like power play with Big Mom.
Yeah, that could
I
definitely be the
haven't.
case.
Yeah,
I think
true.
it's interesting how actually maybe if I stray off the subject a little bit, how Rogue would work. Like he has met Kaido, but will he fight with Kaido? What do you guys think?
I have a feeling that he might just be very closely related. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he threw up the theory. Well, what if Eroge is one of the 3 calamities? Because he clearly knows about Kaido. He knows his history because he's the one who gave it to us when he jumped off the cloud. 2, Kaido was up there on the cloud with Eroge. And 3, we don't have any idea what he's doing other than he was up there in training. And he might have been training with Kaido because he's under Kaido's flag as one of the 3 calamities. Because he's not weak. He's been training for the last 2 years, and actually probably more than that, more than the 2 years, because he still looks like he's been training.
Okay, you're telling me that Aro gave us that narration? He didn't. The narrator gave us that narration. That was information for us. It wasn't information that Aro was saying. If you look at how it was written, it
Yeah,
was
a
just
rogue like recognized it was him, but the narration was from the narrator.
we can't
Yeah.
even tell that he knew that because I think one of the first things he says is, "Who is this crazy old man?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he might. You're true. He might not even have known it was him. Although
We may have to
I just
check
feel
that.
like he would know from like just reading the newspapers and stuff. But
Maybe
I don't
we'll
know.
have to check.
I guess his crewmates didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like we're sort of getting a bit off topic. We're getting too much into speculation.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
So I mean, yeah, let's just keep going with the chapter. What do you guys think about actually seeing Kaido in this chapter? How do you guys feel about it? Because
Yeah.
It was
I
a
like
it was
the
a
fact
big
that we
jump
got-
in his character.
I like we
like
actually
his
got
character
guys, one at a
development.
time. One at a time.
I
All right, Fuzzy, you go
That's
first.
cool.
Okay, well, I just feel like his character got a lot of development. So we now know that he's like an alcoholic or a drunk, and that he has these mood swings. His weapon is that giant Oni club, and we also know that he's now quite pissed at Luffy and Trafalgar Law.
Yeah, now we know we do know he
and
wants
that-
to fight.
Wait, Wolfie, wait.
And that one of his dreams was to have an all devil fruit pirate crew.
Yeah.
He may be like have some supportive complex like Moria, where he wanted everyone to be zombies. Said he wants everyone to have devil fruits.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is right. That is.
Oh wait,
right.
no, hold on.
The
Let me
theories.
just throw this out. Has anybody realized that him saying he wants an all devil fruit crew means that he has a devil fruit?
Yo,
Well, it
yeah,
doesn't
that's
confirm
probably-
it, not 100%, but it does say that he more than likely does have one, because he can't have an all devil fruit crew if he doesn't have one.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
kinda
I
confused
mean,
right now.
yeah, again, it's 99% sure that he has a double fruit at this point. Could be that he was waiting for a specific fruit and he doesn't have it
That's
yet,
what I
or
was.
maybe a
That was
specific
one thing.
artificial.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was thinking. Maybe he. That's the only reason I would say that we don't know if he does or not, because he might have wanted a specific one. That might be why Momonosuke eating that fruit was such a bad thing, because that's the one that was for Kaido.
Yeah, and so I guess now that he has a dream established, Kaido for Nakama, or
I have a dream that one day.
Man, if Kaido became
Well,
a Straw Hat, I would lose it, like in a good way.
we just need a sad backstory. Here he
that
has his
would.
quirk, which is he mood
I mean, he
swings.
probably, to be honest, he probably does have one. One, he already tries to kill himself, and two, he's a high alcoholic. That's like just lined up for sad story right there.
And hey, him
Like it's
drinking a lot is a
Yeah,
great
no,
matchup for
I
him
mean, I
and
was just kidding
Zoro.
about the Nakama, of course, but yeah, he could definitely have a very interesting backstory. Again, like
Well,
someone pointed out in the chat, it's he says the strongest thing in the world, so there's a reason he's called that, and I guess we'll find out eventually
I
what
don't know.
he is, whether he's
I
a
had
human
someone
or
I had someone
experiment.
tell me I had someone tell me a little theory. They asked me what I thought about it. They said, well, what if Kaido is actual the reason Whitebeard wanted a family so bad is because Kaido is his son. Kaido left
Oh,
him and betrayed him, and they had a falling out, and that's why he was so obsessed with having a family.
oh, that's really deep.
Maybe I
yeah,
don't know
It's
about that
out
yet.
there.
could
Yeah,
be.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's true. I'm just saying it's not implausible.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
yeah. It's a cool theory, but
the chicken
I
chicken
honestly
zone.
don't think it's true.
I don't think it's true. I'm just saying if that was true, that'd be a really cool backstory.
Yeah, he plot twist.
Yeah. And then
CP9 versus Blackbeard. Rob Lucci versus Blackbeard.
Yeah, I mean that was
Blackbeard.
interesting. I don't think that. I mean it. I mean I
I'm
gotta
gonna
read
be
it again.
honest. I think Blackbeard would screw up CP9. I don't think
I
CP9
agree.
Yeah,
is at that level.
Yeah.
Because first
me
off,
too.
Dragon, we know Dragon is strong. He can't be the most wanted man in the world, and they haven't gone and got him yet. It's just not that simple. So if he's the most wanted man in the world, he's strong. And then Blackbeard won. We don't know. He might have pulled something underhanded. I don't know.
I
But he
mean,
won.
it
He
might
won
not
by
be
the,
that
decision.
he
here's the
won.
thing.
It
Here's the
could
thing.
just
Like
be close.
Blackbeard, it said they briefly clashed. Blackbeard fled after they briefly clashed, so they probably just showed off some powers or whatever. I mean, Blackbeard at
Right,
this point, I don't think has a reason to take off Cyberpole. Like they'd rather save their resources for other fights.
Yeah.
They
I
briefly
mean,
Yeah.
I was
clashed.
more along the
Yeah,
lines. I
If
was more
that
along the
was
lines
brief,
thinking that
dude.
I was more thinking that maybe the reason everybody got defeated is because Blackbeard showed up with this whole crew. He's got the Quake fruit, which we know can wreck an entire island easy. So he probably showed up. We've seen the base, and he probably crumbled the entire thing, took out most of the army, and then Dragon was left without most of his forces. So it was kind of just a Dragon on, probably most of Blackbeard's crew. So I'm not saying I don't know. I still think Dragon's not that weak to just get like wrecked. And then they also said in the chapter that they're more than likely not dead. They can't just
Yeah.
kill somebody. They're both too
Oh
important to
wait, you guys
just
talking
kill them
about
off
Dragon and
screen.
Sabo?
Yeah, Dragon and
Yeah, I mean,
Sabo.
I would never,
Yeah.
like, never in a million years would I think they actually died
I
in
don't
I
that
think
actually
fight.
don't think that
Nah.
many.
that.
I actually don't think that many of the revolutionaries that are important got that hurt. I just don't. I
What if
think
Wait, I mean the
What if
fighter are
Blackbeard
important.
took Lucci captive?
that would be pretty interesting, actually.
The world government wouldn't do anything about it.
Well, I mean, I think Blackbeard's pretty smart. He's a smart guy. We know this. I don't think he's gonna pick a fight with the government. Even if he knows who's stronger than them, he just wouldn't pick a fight
I
with them
mean, he
at this
did at
moment.
Marineford.
Yes, but
He's
he
kind
also
of crazy.
fled. He still fled at
Yeah.
the end of it.
Yeah, but that was because Shanks came.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he still could have picked a bigger fight. He could have. Because he wasn't weaker than Sengoku, and I'm not saying he would have beat Sengoku at Marineford, but he wasn't weaker than Sengoku either. So he could have done something. He could have picked a fight with the government, but he hasn't.
Might just have different goals at the time.
That's what I'm saying. He probably doesn't want the government breathing down his neck right now. That's probably why he didn't clash with CP9.
Also, just because I just thought of this, piggybacking on what Fuzzy said about Roger's basis theory. one of Monet's attacks were snow bunnies. So that really makes sense, her eating that fruit. And now
Yeah.
back to the
I
main
mean,
chat.
yeah. I mean, we saw the snow bunnies after leaving Punk Hazard. So there's definitely something there. The only thing that I wouldn't like about there being a fruit or her dying is that we still have the whole backstory between Sugar and Monet and how exactly they got onto Doflamingo's crew. Because remember, Doflamingo's flashback actually excluded Sugar and Monet, and we know they're sisters, and we know they
Yeah.
had something, in which Doflamingo saved them. So I think that's like going to be an important part, maybe,
Or
but I don't know. At this
sorry,
point,
my
it's being very it seems very
Doflamingo
likely.
still holds an important role in the story. Let's not forget that. He still holds a very important role.
Yeah.
Because he
So
knows
I don't know.
something. He knows something that's keeping the government off of his back. Something that they
Yeah.
don't want everybody to know. And I think
maybe
he'll be the one
something
to
with
reveal
the
it.
maybe something with the last decade.
That's what I'm thinking. Or
Yeah.
maybe where the last
No,
poneglyph
he said
is.
it was
The red
something.
poneglyph.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said it was something in Mary Jo.
Barry
So.
Joa.
Yeah.
So
very
that's why I
good.
think he's got an important role still to play. He's still got something to do. He's still going to do something to reveal this secret or something.
It would be cool to see the government execute Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Because they're not friends with him. It's just that he basically was blackmailing them. So now that they've captured him and he's powerless, there's no reason not to execute him.
Yeah.
I'll have
True.
another war. This time Kaido comes to save Dofi.
I don't think he puts that much value on
Well,
Doflamingo's life.
Well, remember his dream. Remember his dream.
No.
Well,
I mean, yeah, but
actually,
that's
I
more
just thought about
Caesar
it.
than
I
Doflamingo.
just
His
thought
dream
about
is to
it.
make a
He could
Zoan
just get
free.
Caesar.
Hold on. Caesar's the one who creates the artificial devil fruits, and we know Caesar's going to where Big Mom is. So
I
what
don't
if
think
Kaido?
Caesar could do it alone, though. I think he needed something that
Yes,
He needed a
but
Doflamingo
Kaido
back.
either
still.
Nah,
knew
remember
or
who
had.
said
Kaido still has influence, so he can still figure it out. If he can get Caesar to make or give him the way to make them or make the smile, he can probably still manufacture them. So what if
Yeah.
at the wedding Kaido sends one of the three calamity? Let's just say that's who's going to be there. So he sends one of the three calamities. They find out that Caesar's there, and then Kaido comes over to get Caesar, and then Luffy's stuck in the middle of two Yonkos fighting over Caesar.
Yeah, I mean that definitely could be the case. I mean, we still haven't seen Drake yet, and we just assume at some point we'll see Drake. Although I
Yeah,
think
and then
Drake will go to where Zoro is, or something.
Yes.
He might clash on
Drake.
Wano.
Yeah, somebody, Zoro fanboy has a kind of a theory that Drake is under Kaido as a third calamity.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, we talked about this last week, but there's the card numbers. So there's like 10, and he's Diaz Drake, so it's 10.
Yeah.
And then there's Jack, which we just saw. Oh, we'll talk about that actually. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Zoro fanboy's a big fan of
So
slashers, so hopefully we'll see Zoro and Drake clash. Man, that'd be so hype.
the
That'd
three
be so
calamities are
hype.
probably whoever can.
Yeah. What happened to Drake even?
That's probably what the three calamities are.
Yeah, so we have to see a
But
queen yet. We haven't seen the queen.
and
So at
we
some point
haven't
we'll see
That
the
would
queen
probably be
come out
Big
of.
Mom. Big Mom's probably the
Well, no.
queen.
I'm talking
No,
about
no, no.
the
Kaido's crew.
calamities. The third calamity is probably
Yeah.
a queen. We don't know if Drake is a
No,
calamity yet, but
The calamities are named after calamities. So Jack is the drought. Somebody could be the storm. Another person would be like Earth. I don't know, like what's a name for a calamity?
Oh, wait. Since Jack's a fisherman, we could probably see one for like a tsunami, maybe.
maybe.
Probably
And so yeah, so
possible.
let's talk about that because we haven't mentioned that. So yeah, he's a fisherman. He's either half fisherman or full fisherman.
I
don't know, what do
can't
you
tell
think?
in that picture if he's above water or below it.
He's below.
Oh, he's below it.
Because he
Yeah.
was saying somebody pull me up.
So
Somebody pull me
yeah,
out of this.
from what we know of the rules, when you eat a devil fruit, you sink to the bottom of the ocean. But if you're a fisherman, you can still survive, which actually makes it a lot more cruel because you're.
Which isn't true because that's not how
you will
gills
survive.
work. Yeah, the way gills work in the real world, if you stop moving, you can't get the oxygen into the gills, so you wouldn't breathe.
Yeah,
But
there's
again,
a
it's
lot
an
of-
We have a
anime.
lot of stuff
biology
like that,
professor
and-
here.
I think people should know how gills work.
I didn't know that. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why
I
if you
didn't
take
know.
like that's why if you don't put like in like fish tanks, they have a circulator that moves the water around, and that movement of water helps the fish breathe. Because if the water stays completely still and the fish doesn't move, it's not getting the oxygen.
I didn't know
And if
that.
you're not pumping oxygen into the water, there's the oxygen in the water will just eventually go away, and the fish die because they can't breathe.
So we have like another like Luffy going to actually be
So
able to bounce
that's what happened
bullets
to
kind of
all my
situation.
goldfish.
Do you guys remember the fight between Sanji and Kurobi? How he literally just like started biting the gills and putting his hands in the gills, forcing him to no longer be able to breathe. It's the same
No,
idea there.
no, he breathed in. He breathed into him. That's what I think. But didn't he do that to get like carbon dioxide?
Yeah, well, I mean, the point is he's alive. He's down there. I mean, obviously we knew he was alive. Obviously, we knew he was a fisherman
Kaido
from.
has horns, right?
Yeah, he has horns.
So what if like he's a fisherman, his closest crew members are
He
fishermen, and that's
might
why
be. I'm
like
starting to think he might be like a hybrid of a ton of different things, like
yeah.
a fisherman, a dragon,
And
Oh my
I mean
god!
honestly, yeah, that could be.
giant.
Imagine his parents. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why
Probably
he's
dudes and
called
shit.
the strongest thing in the world, right? So, or, I don't
Strongest
know,
I mean,
thing or
creature.
creature or whatever. So,
Strongest creature.
What if
Yeah,
he
so that
was?
would make sense.
What if he was a product of like a fishman and a human, like actually mating? Because it's not like we've ever been told that they can't
but
have kids together.
they could be,
I mean,
but I don't know.
Dellinger's one. That's the first one we saw was Dellinger.
Exactly. So we know that they can, technically speaking, have a mix.
Yeah, but I think it's like it would be a mix of a lot of different things because it also looks like ores. So it probably has ores
Yeah.
DNA in there and
Yeah,
probably
Horus
some
was a
dragon
Yeah,
giant,
DNA.
possibly.
right? Horus was a giant, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
giant. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, we saw his teeth like 2 chapters ago or last chapter. I don't remember, and we'd all speculated it was a fisherman. So we sort of already knew
Well,
that. But
and on top of him being a alcoholic and him having a sad backstory, didn't Dellinger say something about being a Well, I don't think we get anything on Dellinger's backstory. Because I mean, I was thinking that could have been like why he joined
no,
Doflamingo's
my
crew because he
theory
was.
was that Monet's like Lot swapped Monet's legs with Dellinger. That's how he got legs. But I just don't see it. But I think there's a conflicting timeline, so that couldn't be the case.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe Dellinger, because he's a hybrid, and humans, fishmen don't like humans, humans don't like fishmen. Maybe that could have been like, the reason
Give me
why he
one
joined
second.
Dofi's troop looking for a family. And then, that could probably be the same thing with Kaido because he's such a creature and he's such, people view him as a freak. And that might be, why he always tries to kill himself when he gets drunk.
Yeah,
Or
and
that could probably tie
Toilet
into his
brings up a good
backstory.
point. They talked about how did Kaido even find Zo?
Somebody
Yeah,
said they had a Vivere card there.
yeah, but who would it be pointing to? So
It could be Zunisha.
It's probably
Sorry, guys.
Momo, maybe, because they were originally after Momo.
yeah, but if you remember, they got there before Momo was even there. They got there back
Oh
when
yeah.
before even Sanji was there. I think so.
Well, then
means-
but the person they were looking for and the one they were so sure was there was the samurai, so they probably have it for the samurai.
Maybe.
Raizo?
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
Raizo.
Yeah, right.
I feel like you would know if you made it if you had a Vibra card of yourself though, because the way I forgot how they said you need it, but you need don't you need like fingernail clippings or something like that? Yeah.
They could have held him captive and taken any kind of like DNA or whatever.
Yeah. So the likely candidates are either one Raizo or some sort of spy, which some people have theorized that Pedro was a spy.
Pedro, yeah.
Yeah. So that could be the case.
I feel like it would be more likely that it was Raizo because Kaido's been in control of Wano, and we know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
El
obviously
Chato brings up
Raizo's
a good
from there.
point.
So why couldn't my thought is, well, if they know Raizo was there the entire time, why wouldn't it be his Beaver card?
Oh, wait, no.
And that's how they know that he was there.
On top, for El Chato, what when you're saying why didn't they just go to him? It could have been like considering who Jack is, considering that because they kept fighting even though they kept saying he's not here, so that could have been why Jack stayed and was like bring him to me, instead of because he probably knew for himself like it was either he was gonna get him in a fight or they were gonna bring him to him.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if it was his Reaper card, they would have been able to find him. Like because even after they left, remember the gifters came back and they were like rampaging on the island when Sanji and Brook were fighting
Yeah.
them. So I mean, I feel like they would have just like you remember when like Luffy was in Impel Down, he just led him straight to Ace. I feel like it would lead him straight to Riverdale.
That's not true, El Chato. Jackum was having a tough time fighting the
two guys.
Mink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he used the gas bomb that he
But let's see. I'm
Yeah.
asking what thing was. Oh, what do you think? Well, I think to be honest, I don't know if he'll even be able to get back. I mean, he's probably like super damaged. Like, no, it's probably. I think even if obviously he's gonna get rescued. Obviously, Jack's gonna get rescued. I think he's probably taken too many hits. Probably needs some time to recover, just like last time.
There could be a gifter. There could be a gifter who found Zunisha before anything else happened, and because he's a gifter, he can transform partially into an animal, so they may not even notice he's not a mink. So that's how they could have a spy on the island.
There's
I highly doubt it's Pedro.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that remember when we first got there, someone threw the monkey off the zoo. And we still hasn't been explained why. At least I don't think it might have been explained, but I don't think it was ever explained why he was thrown off.
Oh, that definitely could have been.
I think that someone mentioned that in one of Marco's live streams. Marco, One Piece theorist. I think that's where I heard it.
Yeah,
and he brought up a good question. I was like, wait, why haven't
the monkey is the lookout?
Yeah, so, but I don't know. I think that covers most of it. I don't know. Is there any last thoughts you guys have? Anything that we haven't touched on?
Pudding.
Wait.
We can talk about Pudding and Sanji.
Oh yeah, that's the first
thing
time we talked
we
about.
think Sanji's actually going to marry her or not, because he did see her, and he clearly thought she was beautiful. So.
I mean, like I said, it might be possible because we haven't really seen anything that says we haven't. Even though Peckham said he will be a part of the crew. When they said on this one that his father wanted to be a part, we haven't really seen anything that said you must join. So I mean, he could just marry and dip, which could be the reason Big Mom would want to chase them. But
I feel like if Sanji gets married, it's kind of like the death of his character, sort of. So I feel like
I agree.
He may very much want to marry her, but something's probably going to come up to either stop it or delay it. Like, we don't know if Pudding wants this. Like, she could very well not want this as much as Sanji does want this.
Yeah.
The poor bastard. I feel like no matter what happens, Sanji's one of those characters that will not get what he wants.
Yeah.
The poor bastard.
Speaking of which, I mean, maybe because I thought this was foreshadowing. When Sanji looks at his hands, he's like, "My hands were only made to cook food for my friends." And then you hear like Big Mom is like, she thinks really highly of you. And then I was just thinking, maybe, and kind of hoping this doesn't happen, but thinking he might lose his hands to this art or one of his hands, just because he was just looking at it like, yeah, these hands were made for cooking for my crew and no one else.
No, potentially.
That'd be brutal.
I mean, we saw what happened when Law lost a hand. He just cut it back. So Oda will find a way to do troll stuff like that. It's really annoying, actually.
Oh, no. Retcon. No,
yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it, guys.
So I mean, it did make sense, but it was like, come on.
Devil Fruit is a retcon. Let's be real here, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, Luffy's about to die. All right, I'll give up my life for it. He's immortal now.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother discussion as to who he's going to use the operation on.
It's a big discussion on if he will use it too.
Exactly.
They might bring it up because they might introduce a character who it's been used on.
Yeah.
I think at some point he might try and use it on Luffy, and Luffy will just tell him no, and then just go Super Saiyan 5 and defeat whoever it was that was about to force Law to use that ability on Luffy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we'll end it there. We pretty much covered everything about the chapter. Yeah, no chapter next week because of Golden Week. It's pretty.
Don't lie to me.
Pretty hype for.
I didn't know. I really actually didn't notice.
Yeah, so it's pretty hype for Treasure Cruise, but if you're not playing Treasure Cruise, it's not hype. So
you know what?
Well, rip me.
Oda needs his break, but it still hurts.
Look, if it keeps him healthy and writing One Piece,
Yeah,
I don't care.
He's
He
not
can
like
take the week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no.
is
As long as
also
he doesn't go the way, of Hunter x Hunter, we'll be fine.
yeah. Also,
Yeah, but
like
actually,
no
Hunter x Hunter.
no
Where
issue
did-
means no Hunter x Hunter either, and it actually left off pretty good. So I'm kind of disappointed, but I'll have to wait 2
No
weeks.
Hunter x Hunter spoiler.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's the problem.
say anywhere on the chapter that it's not coming out. But
Well,
I
no,
guess that's
there's no the
yeah,
Golden
the
Week
whole-
means there's no Shonen Jump volume in general.
Yeah.
So it's just we won't get any chapters unless sometimes we get them a week early, but then we just don't get them the next week. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, peace.